sugar because that's what I have. I watched a girl on TikTok show me how to make my own brown sugar, but like she's assuming I have molasses in my house and I don't.
Anna checking in.
Yeah, I don't have any sassafras. No frass. It did have a bunch of brown sugar and honey. It's true. Those were two things that were in it. It didn't taste super sweet though when eating it, probably because of the ginger. I feel like ginger was the dominant flavor. Not in a bad way. Like I liked it, but I feel like ginger was top flavor. The flav of the ginger. Yeah. And then maybe garlic. The garlic was definitely a flavor that was in there. Ginger, though, is a strong flavor. It's one of those I'll fight you flavors. It only takes a little bit for ginger to be like, yo, bitch, I'm here and I'm ginger. You're like, whoa. But I wasn't sure that I had ground ginger. I did, and it was fine. But I couldn't find it at first. It was way in the back of the cabinet. So when I wasn't sure if I could find the ginger, I was Googling what you can substitute ginger for. And they said cinnamon can be substituted for ginger. Now I use powder. I use ground ginger. It's having a ginger root in my house. Can you imagine? And so then when I was digging out the cinnamon, the ground cinnamon, I found the ginger. But for a minute I was staring at I was like, cinnamon can be substituted for ginger. Like my brain still cannot be wrapped around that you could substitute cinnamon for ginger 1 for 1 and just be like whatever about it.
Very wise.
I can't imagine that.
A fine heel there.
I kind of want to try it. And you know who told me you could do this? Better Homes and Garden. Because when I Googled substitute for ginger, the first link that came up was from Better Homes and Gardens. And they listed a bunch of shit that you could substitute for ginger. But yeah, the top one was fucking cinnamon. And I was like, huh, okay. And I was getting the cinnamons out. And then I found the ginger, so this is fine. But now I kind of want to know if it would really work.
I like it.
What would the flavor be? Well, apple pie is gonna have cinnamon anyway. They specifically even mention that a great many Asian dishes use ginger, and if you don't have ginger, you can use cinnamon. It was like brought up. Well, I can stack off this stupid turret for a sec and this pylon. Get this pylon out of here and get this fucking pylon out of this bush. Oh, we missed the slide. Tragic.
A wise decision.
Hey, a thing Kiyeberries doesn't like is cinnamon, by the way. The smell, though, is a big one. That I don't like the smell of cinnamon. Like cinnamon potpourri and shit around Christmas just drives me bonkers and hurts my nose, and I hate it.
Agreed.
She didn't say leave out cinnamon. She said leave out, don't substitute cinnamon for ginger. Just leave it out. You're gonna leave Proby down here? It's gonna take care. Okay, I mean, It does not take Probius long to clear out a camp. Yeah, it's the smell of cinnamon. But used in like cooking and stuff, I don't have a problem with cinnamon. I just don't like it in like candles or potpourri or things like that. That's overbearing smell of cinnamon is just so irritating. I do like mac and cheese tendies and Pizza Hut and peas. These are all things that I like. Yes, some of them together. But like cinnamon cooked into things, I don't mind. Like I said, I was ready to put the cinnamon in the beef and broccoli to substitute for the ginger. I was ready. It was gonna happen. I was like, okay, Better Homes and Gardens, I trust.
Gather tribute or face my curse. The choice is simple.
I was ready to put it in there. I just ended up having ginger. It was fine, but I probably have mac and cheese for dinner. Maybe. Maybe I have a sloppy Jocko. Or maybe I just have a straight up sloppy Joe because I have the tasty bread. A whole teaspoon of cinnamon in his coffee. That's a lot of cinnamon. Meat Yard's oats that I made him, that he ate this morning that I made last night, had a fair amount of cinnamons in them because they're the apple pie oats. So there's a bit of cinnamon in there. Because that one is the rolled oats, chia seeds, yogurt, milk. Then for the apple pie flavor, I cook apples, a little bit of maple syrup, a little bit, like a teaspoon, and I don't know, question mark amount of cinnamon. I don't actually measure the cinnamon ever. And cook the apples, and then add the apples to the oat mixture. And then also a pinch of salt, vanilla, more maple syrup, about a tablespoon, and more cinnamon. And then stir the ever-living fuck out of it, shake it, whatever you gotta do. And then put it in the fridge overnight, and then eat it in the morning. Shake a shake a shake. That was this morning oats. Tomorrow oats are going to be banana peanut butter. They wanted Divine Storm. I don't agree with it, but I'm gonna do it because that's what they asked for. I think Divine Shield Mosh would be stronger, where I can de-shield the Mosh so it can't be interrupted by Anna. But this is what the request was, so I'm a team player. So it'll start the same way with the oats and the chia seeds and the milk and the yogurt. Pinch of salt, gotta have. Probably we'll have some vanilla. I feel like most of them have like a teaspoon of vanilla extract. I don't know. Probably instead of maple syrup, I'll use honey as the sweetener. You know what? I could have cleansed him for that one. Probably use honey as the sweetener. Then half a banana, mash the banana, half the banana, 2 tablespoons of nut butter. And then again, stir, shake the shit out of it. And that'll be that. I cook the apples before putting them in the oats because I think it gives a more like baked apple flavor rather than raw apple being just like, you know, raw apple. To sell the apple pie fantasy, I cook the apples first. Also, sometimes in the apple pie one, I add chopped walnuts. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Depends if I got the walnuts.
Very wise. Choose a talent. For Lordaeron.
Please kill this demon. Oh my god, okay, he's dead. Another oats flavorings I like to make for Meat Yard that he was okay with was the banana nut muffin oats. So your basic oats, and then it's pecans, banana, maple syrup, and cinnamons. And then it kind of tastes like a banana nut muffin. Please don't die, Ragnaros.
Curse is over. I hope you made the most of it. All right, let's try. By my honor.
Could make that one. I have pecans. I could do that instead of banana peanut butter. I should ask Meat Yard which one he would prefer to have. No nuts for you. Yeah. Oh, she go. Give him the unstop so he can't be interrupted, but he wasn't getting interrupted anyway. I like making Meat Yard the overnight oats because, I mean, it sounds like a lot of ingredients when I list it off, but it's very quick to make. It takes like less than 5 minutes. It only takes like 2 or 3 minutes to make. And then it is a good breakfast. It is filling. Is decently nutritious. Once you've made them a couple times too, you can eyeball it really good and you don't even have to measure most of these things. I know what the measurements should be, but I don't have to actively measure most of it. I can just put it in the jar. Oh man, I wanted him to die to that D-storm. Suffering.
Shall we see who gathers enough tribute this time?
I kind of want to make brownies, mainly because I have a bunch of cocoa powder that I need to use. So for one of the oats that I wanted to make for Meat Yard, it was for double chocolate or chocolate brownie. I forget what the recipe name was, but it doesn't matter. It was for chocolate oats. And it had cocoa powder and chocolate chips. And Meat Yard didn't really like it. He said it was too much, too chocolatey. No cocoa powder, please.
It is done.
So I have all this cocoa powder. What am I going to do with it? I've got it. I figured brownies wouldn't be too difficult, but then I just never get around to doing it. Yo, Slash, you want some cocoa powder? So much. That's what I would think. But then, so Alex Dids also eats like oats every day. He doesn't do overnight oats though. He does cooked oats. And I was describing my assorted oat flavors to him, and he said he also probably would not have liked the chocolate oats. There was no fruit in it though. It was the oat mixture, and then I believe it used honey for a sweetener, and then it was cocoa powder and chocolate chips. Like that was it. It was just chocolate oats. And he was like, no, I know, like. How did we get knocked off that point? I even unstopped him. How did this happen? Please, someone slay this demon. Okay. I was going to do chocolate almond oats because one of Nierd's favorite snacks is chocolate covered almonds, and I was like, I could make that an oats. So I got almonds. But then with the disaster of the just chocolate oats, I decided not to even go there. Maybe we revisit that. Maybe we revisit the chocolate covered almond oats. GG, that's a nice game. But not tomorrow, because tomorrow Meatard has to go out to one of the facilities for work. So I want to make him one that he likes. Because if he doesn't like it, he won't have the option to cook something else. Not a day for experimenting. I can experiment with a flavor on a day he's home and works from home.